Hey, welcome back, y'all, to Turn Back Time. This is season 3, episode 10. I'm the Turn.
I'm the Bark.
We're going to be here a long time. It's good to be back. Fun topic. Barker, I'm going to let you explain this one since I got this random text message with just 3 words. History of Suspenders.
We decided that the topics that we've been doing were a little bit too somber, so we needed something uplifting. And so Friday's advisory day at my school, and 2 of my lovely advisory cherubs that are in my very small but mighty advisory were jibber jabbering and, judging my filing system and whatnot, whatever, give me guff like they do every week. That's what we do. We're family. And anyway, they said I was talking about how I like the history of mundane things. And one of my students, Miriam, this is for Miriam, was like, what about suspenders? Why do we have suspenders? What? And so I was like, all right, it's on like Donkey Kong. We decided we're going to do the history of suspenders.
Barker, how often have you worn suspenders? Did you worn them? I knew you wore them for dress up days when you were at Quincy, right? I've seen that a couple of times. But I was thinking about this when you brought this topic up. I was like, how often have I worn suspenders? And I have, I think, 2 pictures of me in suspenders. I have my freshman year of college. I didn't have a Halloween costume, so I was a lumberjack. And so I'm wearing like a camouflage hats and like Carhartt jeans with like steel suspenders, the chainsaw company. And then I have these that I gotta remember where I have these suspenders from. Tyler's wedding. I think my buddy Tyler's wedding. I think these are the suspenders they got us. So, but I don't think I've worn suspenders that often. But I always forget how well they do at keeping pants up.
Yeah, I think maybe once or twice a year, and it's generally for a spirit day. Like I'm not a aficionado. My father, however,
Yes.
would actually buy jeans, and then my mom would sew buttons onto them so he could attach suspenders.
Oh, so he had the hook ones, not the cloth.
Yeah, like not the old snappy snappers like we got.
Yeah.
Right? Like see the snappers, little crocodiles. My dad's would actually had like a button, like an eye, like a button.
Yeah.
You actually button onto your pants. And so it was one of those things where he also wore a lot of overalls, which are related in a way. They're precursor a little bit. Well, I don't know. So the history of suspenders proper is a little murky because, well, nobody just sat down and wrote down the first time. Ludwig, put the leather straps on his pants to keep them from going down and keeping them up. Mm-hmm. So the first official patent, I guess we should say, for a modern suspender was in 1822 from Albert Thurston, who was a haberdasher, owned a haberdashery in England. Which today, haberdashery, right? Haberdasher?
Haberdasher is the person in a haberdashery, would be where they're at.
We tend to think in America, like you go down to like Portland, one of them hipster cities, it's a place that sells fancy hats.
Yeah.
But really, a haberdashery is a place that sells like sewing items. And just it's supposed to be just menswear. But we ruin things in America, which I'll explain here in a minute. And the original name for suspenders was braces.
Yep.
Right, because it braces your drawers and keeps your drawers from falling down. And one of the primary reasons that they say that suspenders came into popularity was that pants became very high-waisted, and so they were meant to be worn above the waist, where it would be kind of awkward to wear a belt. And so it became this idea of we're going to attach them with suspenders, which initially was with buttons, and then you would help keep your pants vertical. And then the other piece of it too is that suspenders for a long time were considered like underwear.
Yeah.
Like showing your suspenders, like right now, we would be like,
to be promiscuous.
Up until like I think what was the last one it says until 1938 in Long Island,
when it starts to become more of a commonplace for men to wear them on the outside of their clothing rather than hidden underneath.
Because normally, so you think like when you wear a tuxedo, you wear your suspenders with a vest over top of the suspenders, so the vest or the jacket hides the suspenders. And there another time period that you the Civil War, you see a lot of guys, a lot of soldiers on both sides wearing suspenders, but those aren't. So in those pictures, it's normally when they're in like leisure time or are not dressed for official pictures, because the uniform would have an over jacket with the big brass buttons on it, right? The big dark blue or gray, depending on what side you were on. But underneath, they were often wearing suspenders to help keep their pants up, which weren't standard issue. They would actually go out and then like attach them to their pants themselves because it was more convenient than belts, kind of a thing.
Well, wear away too. That's the other thing. So with the like leather and things like that, like you can take care of it, but in the conditions they're living in, the common soldier is going to lose a belt or two from the time passing. So,
yeah. And one of the other things I thought was interesting was that looking at the history, I was like, well, what came before suspenders? And like there's 300 years of suspender-like attachments. And the one of the first ones that came up in my mind was Lederhosen. Right? Which, interestingly enough, didn't become popular until the 1700s.
Really?
Yeah, it's not as old as you would think. And the other crazy thing about this, because Lederhosen are like shorts.
Yeah.
They're leather shorts. But they were like the Carhartts of Bavaria. Like that seems like, huh?
Yeah.
Like they were like work shorts.
Okay.
Or you could get Bundhosen. And I mean, my pronunciation is probably not great because I don't, habla the German, but
Sprechen Sie.
I don't sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Yeah.
But Bundhausen goes below the knee, but it doesn't go all the way down. But it's essentially like capri Lederhosen. But again, it's leather pants. They're supposed to be. It's more durable than a cloth or a whatever cotton textile you would make. But it has a suspender quality. It has an H suspender at the top. Most suspenders today are either X-shaped or Y-shaped, where it has one single tail that comes back.
Are you wearing X's or Y's?
I am wearing, you can't see because we're using the magic of the green screen, X's.
Okay. I have a Y.
Find us a B and we can be a slope intercept form. Sorry. That's why we don't.
We know that's why you watch these. We know that's why you watch these.
But they also said that there was, in France, there was something called bretels.
Yep.
Which was a piece of ribbon that was worn over the shoulder, but it was more ornamental. They claimed that Napoleon wore them, and so did what's his man? The ladies' man, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
The ladies' man, Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, that's another one we should do another time.
Just for you, Pete. Anyway, sorry, that goes back to a conversation where former colleague of ours got rather upset with us for besmirching the good name of Benjamin Franklin.
But it was,
or did we besmirch?
We did not besmirch.
We told the truth.
Yep.
But anyway, it's just one of those things that you think about. Like, they say one of the things that I guess kind of well, hold on, before we get there. The other thing I learned, I like etymology, where words come from.
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, hold on. They're called braces in England. Why do we call them suspenders here? And I'm like, well, what are suspenders in England? Right? I'm unpacking this. And I found out that suspenders in Britain or in a more British area like Australia, which I verified with a former colleague, suspenders often refer to a piece of garmentry that helps a lady hold up her stockings, which would be a garment that you would be more likely to find at a Victoria's Secret store than a pair of suspenders to hold up your drawers.
Yep.
So if you're a businessman traveling to Britain and you forget your suspenders, ask for braces.
Please ask.
Less awkward.
Yep. And don't ask for, because if you walk in and ask for a pair of suspenders and you'd like them to be black, it might turn a few heads.
Yeah. You
But
might turn a few heads as you try and attach those to your pants.
They're all know it is 2022. So if you want to wear your braces, wear your braces. If you want to wear your suspenders, wear your suspenders.
On that note, a man named Samuel Clemens, who's better known as
Mark Twain.
In 1871, submitted a patent to the U.S. Patent Office for an improvement in adjustable and detachable clothing strap, like adjustments or something like that. Anyway, and you look at it and you're like, they're like, oh, he wanted to put like these hooks and like little eyes like on your pants and your clothes so you could adjust how tight, like how much you tucked in your shirt. And you're like, okay, that doesn't sound so bad. And then you look at the picture, which I will put up right here, right now. As you see, Exhibit A, it's going to be here somewhere.
This look like to you?
And if you look at this picture and you're like, that, Mr. Barker, that looks like how a brassiere is hooked. I do declare you are correct.
Yeah, and for those who don't know what the word brassiere means, it's bra. Oh, short. Brassiere is bra short for brassiere.
Right, and it all comes back because the root word of brace and bra is like brazo is arms. Fun fact, etymology, word nerds. So yeah, Mark Twain not only wrote Huckleberry Finn, but gave us the attachment for the modern bra. So I don't know. I don't want to salute or curse, but anyway.
Godspeed, Sam McClellan. Godspeed.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a doctor in Chicago, V.S. Cheney, who said that suspenders are healthier than belts because when you wear a belt and you cinch your belt like I do, it squeezes your body like a tube of toothpaste and your belly kind of hangs over. And it's not good for your innards because your innards is getting squished. And he said the suspenders are better because you put them over the top and it's less stress on the body. That was like late 1800s, early 20th century medical science. So I mean, take that with about a ton of salt.
Yeah, not even a grain. Just a ton.
Yeah, no. Bring it back. Beep. The whole thing. But what killed off the suspenders, part of it was World War I. And they said because the uniforms that were made for World War I used belts. And after that, when the soldiers came home, it's amazing the impact that these wars have, because you have a large number of people and they get accustomed to certain kinds of clothing or food.
Yeah.
Like cheese in a can. Yeah. And then after the war, that becomes a huge market and it kind of moves market choices or what people prefer.
Yeah.
Consumer preferences.
Yeah.
Consumer preferences. And so like one of the results of World War I is that when the soldiers were wearing belts and they came home with lower waisted pants, that became more fashionable and suspenders went away. And also men quit wearing vests as much. And so you didn't have the vest to cover your suspenders. And so like they kind of went away. You know, you still had the arm garters to keep your sleeves up, but you got rid of the suspenders, which is kind of one of the things that we associate suspenders with, like the Wild West and like gamblers and casino dealers and stuff like that, or lumberjacks. And part of that is that it's out west where things are less formal and people are doing more difficult work. So you really don't care what you look like. It's about like utility. Same thing with the Lederhosen, right? It's not meant to be, oh, you'll think I'm sexy in my Lederhosen. No, it's so you don't you don't rip your pants while you're out there like trying to like cut down trees.
It's the best thing to do for the job at hand. You're dressing for the job, not for the fashion.
Yeah. Remember that, America. Your ripped jeans. Look like you got in a fight with a gosh darn paper trimmer on the way out the door. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's coming. Wood chipper. Yeah, I've been accused of using the wood chipper too often. So.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, man. But like you think about it, like people, I think there's two iconic people that are 2 or 3 people with suspenders. Larry King used to be on CNN.
Yep.
Since retired. And then for our generation, probably Steve Urkel.
Oh God.
Did I do that?
Did I do that? High-waisted pants for days.
Yeah. Some people say Gordon Gekko from Wall Street Journal, or from Wall Street. Sorry, not the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street,
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
Stephen Douglas character.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Actually, yes. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. Fact check.
Pretty sure it's who it was. Anyway,
No.
fact check me. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's one of those things, and I think suspenders have waxed and waned. I think, like, they're kind of coming back a little bit. There was a time period in Britain where they came back and were being worn by a rather unsavory bunch as kind of a fashion, more of a fashion accessory than actually holding up
Michael Douglas.
pants. Huh?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas?
Yeah, that's what
I was close.
Were you though?
If there's states that can accuse thing that we need to cover the Lincoln Frederick Douglass debates and they're writing laws and I mix up an actor, I think I get a little bit more leeway. I'm not writing legislation for good reason.
I will.
Good reason.
Yep. All right. We'll cut you a pass on that one.
To be responsible.
Yep.
So, long story short, America.
Actually, time out. It's been 16 minutes, so long story long.
Suspenders. Started by guys, an alternative way to replace the belt. The belt is far older. Tried and tested. But became an accessory of men's clothing to help keep the drawers up when the waists of the drawers went higher. And the belts would not meet their desires. And they printed out some fancy flyers that said, "Come and buy my suspenders." But anyway, a garter is still a garter. I looked at this up. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. If suspenders are a garter belt, then what are garters? But garters are just garters.
No, there you go.
I don't know.
But then in that case, suspenders attach to garters to hold up the stockings.
Yes. Okay. Unless those garters are on your sleeves.
Okay, which are different.
It's confusing, man. And people are like, why can't people learn English?
That's also why you and I were not fashion icons and never have been and never will be. But speaking of fashion icons,
boom.
Look at
that. We got merch. I'll post a link on the video right now. It's probably going to be one of these corners somewhere over there or there. So if you'd like to buy something with our faces on it because there's something, medically wrong with you, we're supporting you. Now, please keep in mind that I've literally dropped the margins as low as they can go. We are not trying to do this to make money.
Nope, never have been, never will be.
Whatever small amounts of money that will come out of this will be donated to some charity that we've got to talk about at some point and figure out what we want to donate to. Or if you think you have a charity that we should donate to, please let us know. And no, it is not the Kelsey Ramsey Masters Scholarship Fund.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Sorry, fake niece.
Yeah.
But we thought we would shine some light today on the 1% of people who wear suspenders in America. 1%. So, but anyway, we have merch available. We got some stickers, got a coffee mug. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what people want.
Well, no, it's going to be fun too. We're still waiting. We have a couple ideas for new merch, and basically it's so Barker and I can buy and wear this stuff around because we think it looks cool. So, but we are going to take a little hiatus. Spring break is coming up next week. So we're both pretty excited. Barker, you taking the family, you said, to Seaside?
Yeah, we're going to go to Seaside. We're staying at our normal spot. I don't know who's more excited to go to the arcade. The kids or my wife. So, right. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a rock and bagel place down there. I can't remember what it's called, but they make really good bagels. Anyway, if you want to know, I'll look it up to you. Anyways, the kids love it. If the Bubble Man's out there, it's going to be a hoot. The weather's supposed to be nice-ish for this time of year, which means not freezing cold and raining.
Yeah.
That's all we hope for. No rain, no freezingness. It'll be windy because it's the ocean.
Yep, always.
And Mr. Turner, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna lay back and relax. My lovely fiance is gonna go visit her family and go to a conference down in Florida. I tried to make that work, but with our two lovely pooches, it's just too hard to get away for that long. So my plan is to play some golf with our good friend Mr. Frost and a couple of his buddies, and I'm going. Oh, we're doing a teacher night at the hockey game, Wenatchee Wild, so that'll be kind of fun. And then after that, I'm gonna put my feet up and relax because we got a long haul for the rest of the school year. And track starts, which is pretty exciting. But I promise I will not take a hiatus for track. I will be here for all our episodes from here on out. So, because track is a little bit not an easier sport to coach, but it's less stressful on me to coach track. So, pretty exciting. So, we will not see you next week. We will see you the week after. Send us topics, please. We always love to talk. Otherwise, you're going to get mundane history of mundane things. Which is also
uplifting things like the history of suspenders.
Could also be a new podcast for us called the History of Mundane Things. So, but anyway,
to go with the other one, sports ball prognostication.
Oh man, that was such a good one. Fun stuff. All right, Bark. Anything else?
Oh, I think I've rambled quite enough for today.
Well, I'll take your rambler anytime. So, again, History of Suspenders. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let us know. What have we done? We've done History of Suspenders, History of Toilet Paper,
chocolate,
candy. We did video games, but that was more favorite video games than the history of. Man, maybe we're just going to have to start looking at things around our house and start talking about mundane things.
The history of this fork is pretty fascinating.
I mean, send us stuff you want to hear about, or else you're going to hear about the random stuff that we just like
that we
laying in bed one night going like, why is a snozberry called a snozberry?
I like it. I like it. God, this is just fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
We record when I'm like super awake and like I just had a Frosty, man. I'm all jacked up on sugar.
Yeah, I like had a root beer. I'm like, let's go.
Woo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're good. Until next time, I'm going to be the turd.
I'm still the bark.
And we're going to be here still for a very long time. Have a good night, everybody.
Be safe.
And be well.